Welcome back to the program. Before we continue talking with Martin here, big thanks to Granby Chamber of Commerce. Granby's a beautiful town right here in Grand County. It's kind of the center of our county. If you want a vacation spot where you have great access to the national park, the ski resort, lots of fishing and wildlife, hiking, biking, you name it, Granby's definitely a location for you. They got a couple golf courses, ski resort, all right there in Granby. So GranbyChamber.com, check them out. Granby's newest resident, or one of their newest permanent residents, Martin J. Smith, is hanging out with me. We're talking books. You said you're an outdoor enthusiast, so you love your fishing, love your hiking, biking. You got a favorite hiking trail yet?
We've been going up to Doe Creek Trail, which is just off Monarch, short of Monarch Lake, but right off Lake Granby. We take the dog up there. It's wonderful.
Just gorgeous, especially in the fall. It's a great hike in the fall.
And even winter. We went up on Christmas Day.
Oh, did you really? Snowshoe?
Yep.
Good for you. So you're getting out, 12-month hiker.
Yep.
Have you seen any osprey or osprey nests while you're
we got ospreys that hunt on the pond right near our house, and we've got a bald eagle pair that's along the Colorado River Road running up toward the
For
dam.
a tourist that thinks osprey is a pack, what you want to sum up an osprey?
Osprey is a raptor that, it actually has one of the largest egos of any bird I've ever seen. Whenever it takes a trout out of the pond, it does like a victory lap.
Just shows it off.
Yeah, it shows it off.
Check out what I got. Come and take it from me. I dare you. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, they're a pretty incredible bird that we have out here local to Grand County. So some people I forget what you call them, but a lot of volunteers go around and monitor osprey nests as a part of their service to the community.
Yep.
So.
And you see them all along 34 heading up to Grand Lake, the man-made ones, the platforms that they build for them.
Yep.
They're very cool to watch.
Well, speaking of the feathered species here, let's talk ducks. We got the book that you wrote. When did the book come out?
The book came out in 2012.
Okay, so it's been out for a few years, and it inspired a documentary to be made. And right in the cover of the documentary, The $1 Million Duck, we've got a picture of the duck stamp. So what's going on? What's the kind of premise, or what inspired you to write this story?
I knew nothing at all about the federal duck stamp program when I started researching this in 2009. Actually, I was taking a bike ride with a friend of mine who's an aerospace engineer, but had decided to start painting. And he said, I can't ride next weekend. I'm going to be at the finals of the duck stamp. And I said, well, what's that? And he started telling me about this program that began in 1934 under Franklin Delano Roosevelt. The idea was that hunters are the ones who are using the resource of waterfowl. We should let hunters pay a tax, special tax, so that they conserve the habitat to preserve the resource.
Right.
So there was born this very simple idea of art for conservation. We're going to have artists compete annually for the privilege of having their painting on this duck stamp, and every 98 cents of every dollar that's spent on a duck stamp, a hunter has to buy that to put it on their hunting license. 98 cents of every dollar they spend on that goes to conserving wetlands for the waterfowl. It's a brilliant idea. It's so simple, and it has, in fact, over the last 80 years or so, almost built the entire National Wildlife Refuge system.
Almost 100%, not 100%, but pretty close to of the revenue.
98 cents of every dollar.
That's incredible.
It goes right on the ground, and it's this small, overlooked, little-known federal program. It costs $850,000 a year to administer, and it reliably brings in $25 million a year or more to go right on the ground and conserve those wetlands. It's been called the greatest conservation initiative in human history, and you will find very few people who will argue with that.
And now, off camera, we were talking, some people might say, well, so we're following a few artists around that are trying to paint pictures of ducks, but there's some real characters involved here.
It's a rabbit hole, and you disappear down it. The people who pursue this goal every year, it's like American Idol for wildlife artists. And the people who pursue this year after year tend to be fairly obsessive about it. They're very interesting people, they're very talented people, and they're all chasing this goal of winning this contest. Now, there is no prize money that goes along with the contest.
Oh, there isn't?
The winner simply gets a pane of their own stamps signed by the Secretary of the Interior, but they retain the licensing rights to that image so that they can then license their duck stamp image for shower curtains and liquor bottles and all sorts of things. And they can make $1 million or more by doing so. So it is like American Idol. It's like hitting the big time.
Yeah, right. So that's how you get famous. Now, once someone's won it, I don't know if you know this, but would they compete and keep trying to do it again, or are they moving on to the next bigger?
Well, when you win it, you have to sit out for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But despite that, there are 3 brothers in Minnesota, the Hotman brothers, who are also featured in the film Fargo in a minor way, who have won it now, I think, 12 times between the three brothers, which is almost mathematically impossible. But they're
12 times between the three brothers, yeah.
And remember, they've got each one, if you win it, you got to sit out for 3 years. Every year there's a Hotman competing, they're going to be in the top 3. They're that good. But they are the gold standard of duck painting. And the gods of the competitive duck painting world.
So in the book, I assume we're just kind of going through the process 1 year from following the, is it 6 or how many?
That's exactly what I did. I followed about a dozen artists, featured about 6 of them in the book as they made their choices. Okay, here are the 5 eligible species this year. I've got to choose which species I want to paint. Do I want to do it as a single duck or a mating pair? What plumage do I want? What fall
So you're just following them around and then writing?
So I watched them as they made all those choices and then went through the contest.
And then this inspired the documentary we made, which came out last September. And we're going to take a quick break. And on the way to our break here, we're going to watch the trailer for this, just to give you an idea of what the video is all about. And this has won quite a few awards. It's a feature length, and it's supposed to be a pretty incredible documentary. So once again, we got the book, The Wild Duck Chase, which inspired the movie, The $1 Million Duck. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. Enjoy the trailer.
I would liken it to like winning American Idol, being center stage on a national level.
This is like the Super Bowl or the World Cup of wildlife art.
It's a duck stamp shirt. This is the duck stamp contest.
The Hotman brothers, all 3 of them, are tremendous artists. If there's more than one in the contest, it's a scary year.
I thought I had a pretty good year last year, but my blind dog sold more art than I did. I'm going to have to win the contest to get my name back.
My artwork has a lot of glitter and rhinestones.
He breaks every rule of the contest. Oh. I wonder if the guy's ever actually seen a duck.
Everybody's a critic. The duck stamp program is one of the best ideas the government has ever really had.
It's the Migratory Bird Hunting and Conservation Stamp, but it's commonly known as the duck stamp. The program generates $25 million a year.
Hunters are slowly declining, and generally that's the people that buy the stamp.
If we somehow lost a revenue associated with the duck stamp, 5 million acres of habitat would disappear.
A lot of people really liked my entry last year, not the judges.
I'm starting to get a little bit nervous.
Your painting is awesome.
Yeah, it's nerve-wracking no matter how you cut it.
Sometimes I think, why do you put yourself through this?
We'll begin the judging now with entry number 1.
You just never know with the contest how things are going to go. You're just kind of sitting there holding your breath the whole time.
If I win the contest, it'll change my entire career.
Please follow.
It's an American tradition.
Everybody likes a duck stamp.